So how will the Make D.C. Square Again Act affect people in Arlington and Alexandria, Virginia? I'm John Crouch. I'm a Virginia, Maryland, and D.C. lawyer. I'm based in Arlington. My law firm, Tide & Gross & Callahan, is right on the state line in Chevy Chase, Maryland. I've been working with interstate and international family law and estate planning for 30 years. My family's been here longer than D.C. has, and we've been living in Arlington and lawyering in the DMV for 100 years. The Make D.C. Square Again Act is formally titled H.R. 8455 to repeal an act entitled An Act to Retrocede the County of Alexandria in the District of Columbia to the State of Virginia and for other purposes, unquote. It gives Arlington at half of the city of Alexandria back to D.C. That's about 300,000 of Virginia's most liberal voters. States controlled by both parties have been re-gerrymandering their congressional districts mid-decade, and the latest one to do it is Virginia. So if the Republicans in Congress have the stomach to keep playing hardball to game the outcome of the midterms, they're going to pass this bill. So how does it affect Virginians? State laws and state courts affect how we organize our lives in basic ways that we almost never have to think about, at least until things go wrong. How we own and protect our property, what rights we have in our jobs and with our landlords, how long child support lasts, whether we need a prenup, how we provide for our family when we die or become disabled, and then where do we go to sort these things out when they need sorting out. And when Congress first created D.C., they recognized that people needed stability for things like that. So they said that existing Virginia law would apply in the Virginia part of D.C. and Maryland law would apply in the part that used to be Maryland. Specifically, the laws of the state of Virginia as they now exist shall be and continue in force, is what they said. So what does the Square Act do about this? We don't know yet. Congress's website says it hasn't received the text of the bill, which was introduced 2 days ago on April 22nd. If it just repeals the 1846 Retrocession Act, then we're going back to 1801. We won't be part of the city of Washington. We'll be Alexandria County, D.C. Courts might interpret the bill as imposing 1801 law or 2026 Virginia law. Depending on when it passes, this might be the Virginia law before this past legislative session, which passed a lot of very liberal laws that go into effect July 1st. So if current Virginia law stays in force, we have a lot of uniform state laws that make things pretty seamless in estate planning and with family law cases and court orders. If we're going back to the 1801 law, and we might because Congress is going to be in a hurry and doesn't really care much about this kind of thing, then we're going to be the only part of America without those things, and everyone's going to have to get creative. So the 1801 law also says the D.C. court will have sessions in Alexandria as well as in Washington. Cases that would have been in Alexandria or Arlington are going to be in Alexandria. This is with a D.C. court that is called a U.S. Circuit Court, and those are now appeals courts, but it's supposed to be the basic court that deals with everything except really small cases. And cases worth $100 or more, you can appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court. Cases that are now going on in the Hustings Court of Alexandria will automatically be transferred to the D.C. court and heard in Alexandria. Well, the Hustings Court was abolished in 1973 and replaced by circuit courts. Those are Virginia's basic courts of record, the highest local trial courts. So cases in Alexandria's circuit court might or might not continue into the new court. Cases in district courts or Arlington courts may too. That's a little bit less likely. The president also is going to be able to appoint justices of the peace in Arlington and Alexandria, as many as he wants to. They'll have all the powers that civil and criminal magistrates have now under Virginia law, or maybe the powers that Virginia magistrates had in 1801. Their powers are going to include, quote, whatever relates to the conservation of the peace, unquote. And if all this happens, there might be a lot of need for conservation of the peace. Alexandria County will also have a register of wills and a one-judge orphans court that's modeled on the orphans court in Maryland, which deals with administering wills and things like that. Now, in reality, once this passes, the Virginia legislature will immediately have a special session to deal with it. Hopefully they'll find the time to organize our laws and our court systems so that people's court cases and other things in our lives don't fall through the cracks in the transition to whatever the new system is. Our local state legislators are really good about taking care of things like that. The 1801 law also says the Potomac River will be considered part of both counties. Right now, it's just part of D.C., not Virginia. The islands in it will still be part of Washington City, not Arlington or Alexandria County, but it's still a nice consolation prize for taxation without representation. You can find me at the link in the comments or www.crouch.law. CROUCH.law.